Here we go. All right, let's start with a question from Luke Eastaway. Can either of you sing a nice tune?
No.
There once was a ship named Willem and Sue. He went to the...
Yeah.
This is the show that we'll... Here we go. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go really high energy.
Are you?
All right. We're gonna turn this low. We're in a low energy mood. Just
Were
then.
we? Okay.
Well, I think there was a certain...
Speak for yourself.
There was a certain lack of energy in the room,
Okay.
in the outdoor room.
I like to think I'm a pretty energetic guy.
No, definitely. I just think it's the same. It's the gusto argument, you know.
Right.
It's
Okay.
Yeah. You just gotta attack it with full force. You
Okay.
know?
Right. Okay.
This is the show that will last longer than Bill and Melinda Gates' relationship and have more impact on the price of Dogecoin than Elon on SNL. Welcome to HQLA episode 12.
Whoa, that's definitely the best one we've ever had.
Today I'm joined by my associate, the handsome Isaac
it's not
Smith.
finished.
I'm Nathan Notley, co-founder of Microsoft, actor and entrepreneur. And today we have a long list of fun things to talk about.
Yes, we do. I have a long list here of one thing.
What? Yeah, one thing. Yeah.
But it's a long thing.
Yes. Well, a long thing is a good thing, you know?
I think
what
so
they
too.
say.
It's definitely what they say.
Extra Big Mac.
Perfect.
All right. So today, all right, I'd like to start before I tell you what the company is.
Okay. Yep.
I've been looking a lot at our YouTube analytics.
Yes, as you
lately,
do.
Nathan, and
You love to quote them to me.
I do love to quote them to you. We actually talked about this in an episode that we just put out, but it's 2 episodes ago now.
Yes, it is.
Because we got to remember that we haven't put out
Got one in the bank.
last episode. So HQLA episode 10, we talked about analytics a bit.
We did.
Now we're currently looking at 100% male in the last 28 days.
That's right. We did mention that.
Now I've actually know a woman. So
really?
Yeah. So there's a
Tell me
fun
more.
fact.
How do you do it?
So
How does he do it?
So she actually said that she's watched this channel.
So it's incorrect.
So I don't know. Well, I'm being lied to on some front.
No. But she doesn't have a YouTube account, does she?
Ah, that might be it. Yeah. True. Okay. Well, anyway, is that how it works? It doesn't collect analytics from because it can't know if they're a woman or if. But how does it know if they're a woman anyway? It's just tracking their...
Well, no, because so if you have a YouTube account, it connects to your Google account, right?
Yeah,
And
true.
then, how does your Google account know if you're a male? I don't know.
Yeah, depends on what you look up, I guess.
Yeah. Do you reckon it is?
Well, yeah, it tracks... I guess it gets so much data that it's like, oh yeah, this person's clearly a female.
Was there...
I don't know.
When you were looking at the analytics, was there an other? Or was
No,
there
there was just
Really?
female 0.
Because you think there'd be a big bunch of people who just wouldn't know the gender of, and it would tell you that.
You would think so, but
Okay.
maybe it just doesn't tell you. Maybe it just leaves that out. It just doesn't include that data.
Okay.
Maybe.
Righto.
Anyway.
Well, all of this data stuff, like we were looking at the Facebook ad manager the other day, and we were looking at like how big our audience was going to be when we added certain product things to our list of identifiers for a category, and like it was going up and down. It was making no sense, and it's like, well, how can we calculate this? Like we can't. They could just be throwing random numbers.
Yeah,
at
say
us.
like a page with 64,000 followers.
Yes.
Added like 1 million people when
Correct.
we tried.
Who was it? What was that? Do you remember? I don't remember what it was.
Let's not delve into it. Michelle Obama or something.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, she's got a lot of fans.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yes.
Her. It was someone.
Yeah, it was someone.
Perfect.
All right. So anyway, I haven't actually gotten to the company yet.
Yes. Yes.
So yes, I do know a woman. Anyway.
Yes, you know a woman. Yes.
my next question is if you
what
can.
What question? I didn't hear the first one.
Well, it wasn't. All right. My next point is can you name a movie which Jessica Alba has starred in?
No, you know I'm not very good at this.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to see.
I don't know who Jessica Alba is or what movie she's been in.
Well, I'd like to think that I'm pretty good with the movies. I'd like to say that I only knew one movie with Jessica Alba in it, and it was Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four? Is that a movie?
Yeah, have you seen Fantastic Four?
Is it in a book?
No, they're in New York, and they're like trying to stop some Silver Surfer guy. There's like a Silver Surfer. They made 2 of them.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely watched them.
So it's like a superhero thing.
There's a guy with a silver surfboard, and he's like terrorizing the world or something.
Oh, he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Okay. And they all get power. They go to space and they get powers.
No, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, they're all astronauts or something.
Sounds very silly.
Well, yeah. Anyway. So the reason that I brought that up is because Jessica Alba has a company which is called The Honest Company.
The Honest Company.
Which IPO'd on Monday, the 5th. So this was 1 week. This week it IPO'd.
Yes, I saw something about this.
Yes.
Like I'm aware of this. I don't know much
yes.
though.
Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, I was aware of it for like I've known about these, and I'm going to go into more celebrity specs later on in future episodes.
Perfect. Looking forward to it.
Because there's all these celebrity specs and rolling funds and everything that people are starting up now. So who is it? Jay-Z is on the on the train for being a big entrepreneur and starting multiple companies and stuff.
That's right.
So I'm like, I wonder if it's just the trend or if people are actually good at this. But this one is pretty good. I think it was started in 2008. So it's a pretty serious company that's been going along. Do you have any other information there?
Yes.
Is it? What date is it?
The Famous Four is a book.
Fantastic Four.
Oh, did you say the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's the Famous Four is a book there.
Okay, I don't know what the Famous Four is.
And see, that's relevant because it has 4 in it.
Okay. Yes.
Sorry, continue.
Great. I thought you were gonna give me another start date.
No.
Well, anyway, I'm not sure now when it started, but we can get that in a 5-star Apple review if that's okay,
yes.
listeners.
As long as it's a 5.
So it's a pretty cool. Yes, as long as it's a 5. I don't look at the ones with 4. I delete them. No, I think that it's a pretty cool company. So they started by doing, and it's interesting. It's all about environmental sustainability.
Okay. All right.
And the products are actually. So I've got a bit of a breakdown of the products and the business model.
Yes.
So 63% of their products sold are diapers and wipes. 26%.
Right.
26% are skin and personal care, and 11% is household and wellness.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that works.
Okay.
So it IPO'd on the 5th of May for $16 a share.
5th of May. Okay.
On Monday this week.
Yeah. $16.
So $1.4 billion valuation.
Yeah.
And the first actual price that you could buy it was $23.52.
Yep.
Which means that on the opening day, it did that crazy thing. All IPOs do it. We already know.
Yeah.
So the price now on the 8th of May yesterday is $19.08.
Really?
So it's still up above the price that it officially listed at, but it's 18.8% down from its technical price that you could actually buy it at.
This is a bit like the company you were talking about last week.
Yeah, the direct listing Coinbase.
Yeah. Similar vibe.
Yeah, so the market cap's still 1.8 billion, so it's still 400 million more than its actual like IPO price.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So they do the diapers and wipes, they do the skincare, they do the household and wellness. A big focus around reusability and lack of chemicals in the production of it. You know, like trying to get that down. Okay,
so the packaging itself and stuff is probably all like biodegradable and stuff.
Yeah. So that's kind of the idea of it.
Okay.
So 55% of their distribution is through digital e-commerce sales. 45% is through retail direct.
Yep.
They're so they've got a focus on these at the moment, which is their 11% part, which is home care products.
Yes.
So it's like 11% of their business.
Yeah.
So they aim to use 85% less plastic in the whole process.
Yeah. Okay.
Through through using these refillable bottles.
Yep.
That so they send you. It's pretty interesting. They send you a bunch of capsules which you put into each reusable bottle, and then you mix it with water and you shake it, and you have the product up and running again.
Okay. So you buy the bottle the first time.
Yeah.
And then you buy little capsules from then on.
Yeah, and the whole idea is that it's a really high quality bottle, and you can keep kind of using it. And so that's a surface cleaners, bathroom cleaners, glass cleaners kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the whole point of what they're making as well, the capsules and all of the production, is that they're not using the toxic chemicals like a lot of cleaners.
Yes.
So one thing that I thought of there was Method, which
I was literally thinking, hang on, there's another company who's done this.
What's that company that does that? Yeah. So
okay.
So I guess that they're up against them. The thing about Method is that they're
public too, right?
I don't know.
Keep going. I'll look it up.
But I know that Method are based on is that the one that they regretted taking public or something? I don't know if that's the same company, but the difference there is that this one has only 11% of their products sold are actually in that same overlapping space.
Yeah,
because that's the household part of it.
Yes.
Whereas they're mainly focused on the wipes and diapers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. Jumping into the financials.
Yes.
They're looking at a current revenue of 300 million for the last 2020.
300 million for 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
that's a 27% increase from the previous year. So that's not bad.
Okay.
They're making a loss of 14 million, which isn't too bad considering that that's only a small slice of the 300.
Yes.
So, and it's 53% better than their loss last year. So,
okay.
Improved there.
Yeah.
Net profit margin of -5%.
Yeah.
So yeah, its valuation makes its valuation at 6 times price to sales.
Yep.
Which is still, I guess, a little bit pricey considering that there aren't any earnings yet.
Yes.
But it's really not that bad, like 6x.
Yep.
And especially if they keep growing at that rate.
Mm-hmm. And they won't have to continue to scale up their marketing as they are at the moment, I assume.
Yeah.
At some point, it'll plateau a bit.
Yeah.
And they should be able to start making some earnings.
Yeah. So
it doesn't look like Method's public from what I can see. Oh,
there you go. Jessica Alba's shares are worth $130 million.
Really?
So
good on her.
Yeah, that's pretty cool from a 1.4. So I guess she owns just less than 10%.
Okay.
But I mean, I think that's at IPO though.
I wonder what her involvement is. Do you reckon she's just got a name on it?
Well, she's so I saw her being interviewed sitting next to the CEO. So she's appointed a CEO.
Yeah, okay.
And
does she have a position in the company or not really?
Well, I don't know what her position came up as founder.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right.
But I've seen, so like on all their marketing videos and whatever, it's her her talking, and she answered some decent questions about the company.
Okay.
So
she knows what's going on.
I think that she's pretty across it. And yeah, obviously you can just be the owner and be involved.
Yeah.
And if not everyone's super business savvy, so you can get a CEO and
definitely
do that kind of thing. So the CEO's been the CEO for 4 years, and
wow, it's been running that long.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And yes, they've just taken it public. Obviously. So yeah, huge marketing advantage to have the celebrity founder.
Yes.
So I think that'll work to do as much advertising. You can get as much free advertising out of the celebrity as you want. Obviously, they'll keep working hard on their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I like it. The products are pretty ethical. I wouldn't invest in it yet because it's not really that profitable, and I don't think it has like that much of a superior advantage.
Yes, compared to others. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still pretty cool that they're environmental and all that kind of thing.
Very cool.
I also think that a physical goods company has to be profitable and growing for me to be that keen on it.
Yep.
So I like it that they're growing, which is great.
Yep.
But I think if you're selling something, something physical, I feel like it's got to have profit because otherwise it's just overhyped and overvalued sort of thing. So
yeah.
Yeah, so
I like it.
That's my company.
I like it a lot.
Oh, we have a if you want to, before we start this segment.
Yeah. What do you got?
I got 4 messages from Luke.
Okay. From our caller.
Here we go. He's replying. Soccer at 3. Got to be there at 2:15.
Oh, okay. So he's driving now.
He's not. Luke said I like long things.
Oh, okay.
I like long things. This is quite interesting. Very smooth on the live. Soccer at 3. Got to be there at 2:15. Yes.
Okay, so Luke's going to love my segment that I'm doing now.
Well, I wish that he actually said a question instead of can you sing a nice tune?
Maybe he'll give us a question next.
All right. Well, hopefully he'll send us a question.
You can interrupt me if he comes with a question.
No. I think we'll do it at the end of your
that's fine.
segment before we start the next one.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, so the company that I'm going to talk about is not based in America.
Okay.
It's based in Australia.
Oh, okay. This is exciting. This is our first Aussie. This is our Aussie debut. This is cool.
And this is the opposite to what you're talking about. This is not a cool little startup.
Oh, no.
It's an
uncool startup.
This is a big conglomerate monster company.
Okay, all right.
Called Wesfarmers.
Oh, yes, okay. We're talking Bunnings. Luke's going to love that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so this company is actually super duper interesting. The more I looked into it, the more interesting it was. And this is like, it's literally like talking about 20 companies. So I'm going to do my best to try and make it like digestible.
Yes.
And just tell me if it's getting a bit out of control.
I sold my Wesfarmers
Did you?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
But there you go.
That's right. But
held it for a while.
True. Well done. How long?
Over a year because of
was it
half
positive?
capital gains. Yeah, I think I made a 42% profit.
Yeah, actually you should have. That's one of my points here in a minute.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, sorry, yep.
So, do you want to guess when they were founded?
19...
Old, very old.
23.
14.
1914? I was pretty close. I was going to say 19.
In the right kind of range.
Right, in World War One.
Do you know where their headquarters is?
Melbourne.
No, it's actually Perth.
Oh, Perth. Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Cool.
So, do you want to guess how many employees they have?
This is going to be...
It's going to be big. Yeah, this is every single company that they own. That's kind of how they quantify it. So it's going to be a lot.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that it is... all right, so number of employees is going to be...
6 figures.
Yeah. I'm on it. I was going to say 130,000.
Okay. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
120.
Oh, that's close.
Okay. So they lost 100,000 employees from 2018 to 2019.
Okay.
But I'll explain why.
It's the self-serve checkouts. All right, sorry.
Yeah, it's not the self-serve checkouts. As much as the old people will tell you it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Average management tenure, which I think is important, is 3.5 years. So this is like the average amount of time that one of their management...
That seems pretty low.
Yeah, it is actually pretty low.
Yeah.
Usually looking for over 5 would be good.
Yeah.
The guy who's the CEO is a guy named Rob Scott. He has been there for 3.5 years. He's been...
make good...
what is it?
Scots make good CEOs. Yep, sorry.
Scott,
continue.
Yeah. And so he has been in his position as managing director and CEO for 3.5 years.
Okay.
And do you want to guess his compensation? Annual?
Okay, so I know that our top of the range kind of salaries are something in the 25 millions for Australian CEOs.
Okay.
I know Wesfarmers is a massive conglomerate, but...
It's 7 figures.
So, yeah. So I'm going to say that it's... I was going to say 9.3 million.
7.7.
Not bad.
It's a lot of money.
You're getting good at guessing.
But when I get to the bit where I talk about all the companies that they are associated with, then you'll appreciate why he gets paid $7.5 million a year.
Yes.
Because for him to even know what they all do is impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like Jim's mowing.
Yes, sure.
Exactly like that.
So he's actually he's a silver medalist in rowing.
Wow, that's a surprise.
2-time silver medalist in rowing at the Atlanta Olympics.
Okay.
Summer Olympics. I can't remember what year that was, but I think it's before my time. He has a Bachelor of Commerce.
Yeah.
And he started at Wesfarmers in 1993. Okay. So he might be
so he has been there for a long time.
An old guy. He's been there for a long time, and he's basically been the director or manager or head of most of their departments.
Okay.
Which I'll explain in a minute. But so he's definitely been around for a long time.
Well, that makes you feel more comfortable with the 3.5 as the...
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So what I thought would be really interesting is if I just give you a really quick timeline of the company.
Okay.
The key thing here is to look at how the motif or like the... maybe the focus of the company changes.
Yeah.
Because they're not really like... I'll talk about it and you can see what you think. So they were founded in 1914, right?
Yeah.
First thing, if you go to their website and look at their timeline, one of the first things that comes up as a key date is 1924. 10 years later, they launch Western Australia's first commercial radio station.
Oh, cool. There you go.
So random, right?
Yeah.
This kind of gives you a taste of the randomness of the companies that they buy and invest in and stuff like that, okay? So then in 1927, they start... so this is 27, they start a joint venture with 2 other organizations to... they're producing farmers' fertilizer, okay?
Yeah.
And so it's called Cumming Smith and... Mount Lyell Farmers Fertilizer, okay? So they've got a third stake in...
Solid name. Okay. Yeah. I'm not laughing.
No. Yeah. Okay, so in 1931, they actually invented a thing called the bulk wheat transfer vehicle. So imagine, they're in the agriculture world at this point, right? In the 30s. And so they've got big, massive bins full of wheat.
Yeah. Like Western Australia farmers?
Yeah.
Ah, that's cool. All right.
And so they've got these big bins full of wheat, and they've got these train things.
Yeah.
Trains?
Yeah.
Trains. I think we call them trains.
Yes.
And so they were struggling with an efficient way to move all of this wheat into the trains. And so they designed this diesel vehicle that just had this, it's like a digger, but I suppose they didn't have it back then. And it just picks up all of the wheat, hay stuff, puts it into the train.
Nice.
So that's a notable point. Then a bunch of years later, 1956, they start an organization or a company. They start a company called Clean Heat Gas.
Clean Heat Gas. Okay.
Yes. And basically they distribute bottled gas and appliances. When they talk about it on the company website, they talk about how they were trying to find better solutions for their wives who were cooking in the kitchen at home.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's 1956. So that's kind of the vibe back then.
Yep.
1977, Wesfarmers announces a bid to take over another third of that farmers fertilizer company.
Yeah.
By this point, it's called CSBP. So they've changed the name. And obviously we know what it was called before. And that's actually the largest takeover Australia had seen to that point.
Yeah. And
that's for $60 million. So then in 1979, they actually secure that takeover.
Yeah.
So 2 years later, that's a long process. And so in 1984, they are publicly listed.
Yeah.
With an $80 million market cap.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
80 million. Yeah.
80 million. 1985, they purchased 50% of Gresham Partners, which they still own, which is a finance and kind of money advisory company.
Okay.
1986, 100% acquisition of CSBP, which was that initial farmers fertilization company. So they've now owned the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then in 1987, 10% acquisition of a company called Bunnings.
Hey, there you go.
1989, acquisition of Western Collieries. That's the first time they've purchased a coal mine.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, so at this point they own like this farm thing. They own Bunnings, or 10% of Bunnings. They own a coal mine.
Yeah.
Now
and
they
finance
and the finance company, who I assume are like advising them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, you guys are good. Let's just buy half of the company.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of like, and then 1991, they move into the insurance game. So they buy a company called Federation Insurance.
Okay. Yeah.
1993, 2 years later, Bunnings acquire. So Bunnings itself, that they don't own all of Bunnings yet, but Bunnings acquires a company called McEwen's.
Yeah, okay.
For $48 million, which was one of the bigger hardware stores in Australia at that time.
Yeah. And
so that allowed Bunnings to have a store in every mainland state within Australia.
Cool.
So this is the start of the expansion of Bunnings.
Yeah.
1993, there was an acquisition of Dalgety Farmers, which is again, it's in the agricultural space, and it's adding to their little portfolio of farming services that they offer.
Yeah.
1994, they acquired all 100% of the Bunnings organisation. 1994, they also saw their first Bunnings warehouse store. So the difference there is they turned from Bunnings store to Bunnings warehouse.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll talk in a second about how they define the difference. In 2000, they merge Wesfarmers, Dalgety, which was that farming corporation that I mentioned before, and a third farming corporation to take up 35% market share in the agricultural merchandising space.
Okay.
Which I assume is like, merchandising is like selling of goods, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, I guess they assist farmers in selling of their products.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm assuming that they're doing.
That's cool.
So 35% of that market.
I like it that we've, coming back to the analytics for a second,
yes.
Interrupting, sorry.
Please do.
I like it that we've addressed our, low female watcher issue, and we've addressed our low Australian watcher, because 5% of our audience are from Australia.
Okay.
So we're getting an Aussie stock in and a woman stock.
Perfect.
So
a woman founder.
A woman founder stock.
Also in the year 2000, acquisition of West Freight Business, which is a train freight company.
Oh, yeah.
For $585 million. So now they own a coal mine and they own the freight service.
Yep.
They purchase another mine, which is called Kura Coal Mine, for $200 million. 2001, they acquire a company called Howard Smith Ltd, which was the other large. They do a bunch of other things, but the main thing for these guys was that they're another huge hardware company.
Yep.
And so that doubled the size of Bunnings and gave them access to 400,000 new products under the Blackwoods company name, which I'll come to in a second. And that later became their industry and safety division, which I'll, again, expand on in just a sec.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry.
A lot of areas to unpack. I'm excited.
In 2001, there was a formation of Wesfarmers Landmark. All that is they take the merger of all of those farming agricultural businesses that they've acquired, and they put it all into this thing called the Wesfarmers Landmark. That's in 2001. 2003, they sell it, Wesfarmers Landmark, for $825 million. No longer in the farming agricultural space.
Okay.
Now, in 2003 as well, they acquire another insurance company called Lumley Insurance for $375 million. They acquire in 2006 another insurance company, which is called Crombie Lockwood. In 2006 as well, they acquire another insurance company, which is Australia's largest publicly listed insurance company, called OAMPS.
Okay, so a lot of insurance.
For $700 million.
They're loading up on insurance companies.
I don't know if you've counted it, but it's probably 4 or 5 insurance companies that they've bought at this point.
Yeah.
Then they sell Australian Road Group, they sell Australian Railroad Group, which was that. Remember when they bought that train company? They've sold it. $1.3 billion. They sell that for, rebranded.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
2007, they acquire Coles for just under $20 billion, which is Australia's biggest corporate takeover to that date.
Yep. So they've done 2 of the big.
Correct.
The biggest takeover.
Because that includes Coles, Kmart, Target.
Yes.
All within that Coles group.
Yeah.
2007 as well, they acquire Lindgas, which...
Yeah, we're good. We're going.
Okay, we're almost there. Okay. Okay, so 2007, they acquire Coles for just under $20 billion, which is Australia's largest corporate takeover to the point again, second time. That's Coles, Kmart, Target.
Yep.
And then 2007 as well, they acquire a company in Australia called Lindgas, which they changed the name to Coregas subsequently. I'll talk about that in a second as well. 2008, they raised $3 billion, which is $650 million worth of senior notes. So that's like a bond that gets paid back before a bond.
Yes.
And $2.5 million of renounceable rights issues to current shareholders.
Okay, yeah.
So that's
in 2008.
That's in 2008,
right.
$3 billion. 2009, a year later,
picking the bottom of the market.
$4.6 billion raised again.
Yes.
Which is just a rights issue and placements.
Okay, yeah.
So heaps more, I guess everyone's just getting diluted at that point.
Yeah.
2011, they sell Premier Coal, which I had a look at because they've rebranded this thing to Premier Coal. I was like, well, which coal mine was this actually? And it was the one that they bought a while ago called Collier Coal, and they sell it for $297 million. And does it say, did I take note of how much they paid for Collier Coal? Let me just check here. No. Okay, continue. And so in 2014, we're almost there now, they sell all of their insurance broking businesses.
Wow.
For $1 billion.
Where, and in when? Sorry?
2014.
2014, okay.
So they've sold one of their coal mines, 2011.
Yep.
2014, they sell all of their insurance businesses.
Yep.
Also in 2014, they make the purchase of Workwear Group for $180 million.
Okay.
Which is comprised of Hard Yakka, a whole bunch of different companies like that. Right.
Yeah.
And so in 2016, 2 years later, they make an acquisition of Homebase, which is one of the UK's largest hardware stores, for $700 million.
Yeah.
And then in 2017, the first UK Bunnings store opens, right? So their intention here is they can take the model that they do here and in New Zealand of Bunnings warehouses, buy a bunch of warehouses over there in the UK, turn them into Bunningses, right?
Yep. I don't know if you've got this at all, but something I've heard before that's super interesting is that a lot of Bunnings type stuff in the UK fail because...
Yes, I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. You go.
So,
pretend I didn't say anything.
No, what you're saying is absolutely correct. And so in a second, I'll mention it.
Yep.
So 2018, they sell the second mine, which they paid $700 million for. No, that's wrong. They sell the second mine that they purchased for $700 million, and they paid back in 2000 $200 million.
Okay.
So they made $500 million in 18 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's okay, I guess. That's not...
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. And it's better than the Homebase purchase, which I'll explain in a second.
Yep. It's better than making a loss.
Also in 2018, they sell Homebase for $300 million, which is a loss of $400 million.
Yes.
Because what you're saying is correct. They had the intention of rolling out Bunnings in the UK. It didn't work.
Yep.
And so they ended up selling it back to a UK-based company.
Yes.
Do you have any more information?
Well, what I was going to say is that it's a different culture of DIY. So they... well,
it's always cold and rainy, so no one wants to go outside.
Yeah, so in Australia, there's heaps more DIY culture.
Yeah.
And in the UK, they definitely don't they want to do the projects, but they definitely want someone else to do them.
Yeah,
so it's
right.
very much a culture of
So
I'll hire someone to do this.
They're lazy?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it is. Yeah, I mean, you could say that. Yeah.
Well, cold and rainy weather makes you lazy.
Who wants to be outside trying to paint your house and it's 200 days of the year you can't even do it?
No. So it's not really their fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2018. They sell Homebase. They lose 400 mil. In 2018 as well, they demerged Coles from their conglomerate.
Yes.
And Coles commences trading on the ASX separately. Then in 2018, they sell Kmart Tire and Auto Services, which they originally purchased with Coles, to Continental for $350 million, which is a $270 million profit.
Yeah.
Then in 2019, they...
Continental's the tyre company, right? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so if you see them getting around, that's owned by Continental now. You'll probably see all the Continental tyres out the front.
Yeah.
2018, acquisition of Geeks to You.
Oh, okay.
Which now sits under the Officeworks brand. 2019, acquisition of Catch.com.au. Do you know they own Catch?
Yeah, Catch. That's cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
$230 million. And last one is 2019, acquisition of Kidman Resources for $700.
Catch is worth $230 million.
In 2019, that's what they paid.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's a page where someone's just gone and found a good deal. Yeah. And then reposted it on their page, and they make some money from that, or arbitrage it or whatever. It's a
Is it?
Yeah. That's they get the deal done. They arbitrage the difference, don't they? I don't know. Well, you can explain.
I think it's more like TK Maxx online.
Well, it used to be Catch of the Day, so I don't
know
if it's changed.
Yeah, I think.
Is it different now?
Maybe it was like that.
Well, it used to be one deal a
day.
But
they have warehouses and stuff now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot more involved, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it used to be just one thing a day came up and...
Oh, no, it's not that.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it's definitely changed now.
Okay.
So the acquisition of Kidman Resources is the last one I've got here, which is for just over 700, almost $800 million, actually. And that's what's Kidman Resources? Good question. That is the company that owned 50% of Mount Holland lithium project, which is a lithium mine in Western Australia. Now, let me just break down some of the things that I've mentioned that I said I would break down.
Okay.
Actually... It's just so big. Sorry. So basically,
this is a really deep dive. I like it.
I know
it's a lot deeper than my one.
It's a deep company, you know.
Yeah.
So they started in agriculture, moved to financial services, kept that. Then they moved to hardware, coal mining, insurance, train freight, a bit more coal mining, bought some more hardware. Then they sell all of their agricultural farming. They buy some more insurance. They sell the train freight company. They start retail business, which is Coles. They buy the natural gas business, which is the Lint company. And then they sell all of their coal mines, all of their insurance. They buy workwear. They buy more hardware in the UK. They then sell the hardware in the UK. They sell the rest of their coal mines. They essentially sell Coles. They sell Kmart Tires and Repairs. They start the tech support, or they buy the tech support company, which is the Geek to You one.
That's so random. I think I'd rather have an insurance company than an IT. Anyway.
They online discount retail, which is Catch, and then lithium mining project.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the quick timeline of what they've done. Now, a quick breakdown of what it looks like right now in time for them is Bunnings Group, which was... Bunnings is really interesting in itself, right? So it was founded in 1886.
Yes.
It's a long time ago by Arthur and Robert Bunning.
There you go.
And
the Bunnings.
It was previously known, before Wesfarmers bought it, it was previously known as Bunning Bros.
Bunning Bros.
How funny is that?
All right. What are the names? Robert and Arthur?
Robert and Arthur Bunning.
Okay, yes.
Bunning Bros.
Makes sense.
So right now there's 285 Bunnings. And so they call Bunnings the smaller format regional metro markets. They are trying to open 2 to 4 per year.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
They have 15 Bunnings warehouses, which is a different thing. They're large format, often multi-level.
Yeah, okay. Multi-level?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you seen one?
I don't know if I've ever been to a multi-level Bunnings.
I've been to one. I've been to one in Sydney.
Okay, right.
The trade and stuff is all on the top level.
Wait, so are you saying that in Newey we've never seen an actual Bunnings warehouse?
I'm saying they're often multi-level, but they're always large format, and I'm not sure. But you can tell because on the website, when it breaks it down, the actual markings on the outside is different.
Luke would know about this.
It literally says Bunnings, or it says Bunnings Warehouse, like painted on the outside. And so the last one they have is Bunnings Trade.
Oh, here we go. Hang on. Can I? Here we go. Luke says, "I love Bunnings!" Explanation! 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 And then he said, "Yay! Yay! 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 Yay!" And then.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Question: How many Bunnings stores do Wesfarmers own?" Which we went across there.
Yeah, we did.
And then he guessed 350,000. Which he said, and then he said, "Dang, I'm so far off."
350,000.
That's what he guessed.
I don't know what ratio that is to people in Australia, but it sounds like it's probably like 20 people per Bunnings.
Yeah, 350,000. Dang, I'm so far off.
Okay. And so then they have 3 Bunnings Trade stores, which are just Bunnings Trade.
Yep.
And then obviously Bunnings Trade operates within the other Bunningses, but there's 3 stores which are just Trade.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And so the format that they call that is DIFOT.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Which is delivery in full on time.
Okay, yeah.
That's what they call it. They have 2...
I knew it would be some giant... Yeah.
They have got 2 subsidiaries, which is Adelaide Tools, which they own. They acquired it mid-2020.
Yeah.
And actually, the ACCC raised concerns about like anti-competitive behaviour.
Yeah.
But they ultimately went unopposed, and so they purchased it.
Yeah.
Somewhere around a year ago.
You got anything on Masters?
No, I don't.
Okay, because that's an example of anti-competitive behaviour. Well, it's an example of something completely failing.
Yes.
Its rollout.
Yes.
And then being bought by Bunnings.
Yes.
And then which is kind of funny.
It's true. And then they also own within the Bunnings group. They own Valley Investments, which is an asset management company. I could not find anything on that company.
Okay.
If you can find something, tell me. I don't know what they do. Initially, I thought, that's probably the company that like owns all of the physical properties.
Yeah.
But it's not. There's another company.
Okay.
So I don't know. Okay, so that's Bunnings.
Yes, that was great.
Bro, this is so intense. And so there's Kmart Group, okay?
All right, Kmart, yeah.
Kmart, do you want to guess how many stores in Kmart Group, which is Kmart and Target?
It's not 350,000.
No, it's not. It is more than Bunnings.
Yes, I did expect it to be more. Okay. I was going to say, I'm going to say 650.
Oh, 514.
Oi.
And 50,000 employees.
50,000, okay, yeah.
Yes, so Kmart itself was established in 1960.
That's Kmart and Target.
That's Kmart and Target,
okay,
yes. So I'll break them down for you. So Kmart has 231 stores. Target has 289 stores.
Okay.
The interesting thing here is, which I'll show you in a sec when we get to the figures, is that Target is actually the one that's failing for them at the moment.
Yes, okay.
Sorry. Yes, Target. Target is the one that for them is failing.
Yep.
Kmart has this aura about it at the moment. If you talk to like a 15 to 25-year-old person, who is like has their own house but doesn't want to spend heaps of money on it.
Yeah.
They're always talking about Kmart.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have.
People love Kmart.
They love Kmart, right?
Yeah.
And so Target began as a drapery store in 1926.
Drapery.
They've got 13.
Like a curtain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a curtain store, and they currently have 13,000 employees. And Catch.com.au, they have 2 fulfillment centres, both in Victoria.
Oh, cool.
So that's interesting. Officeworks is 27 years old, 168 stores, 9,000 employees, 40,000 products.
Yes.
And within Officeworks...
They sell good paper too.
Yeah, they do. We have some of their paper. Within Officeworks, they own a subsidiary called Geeks to You, which I mentioned earlier, which is on-site tech support.
That's a very American thing to have an IT company inside an office store.
It does seem American, doesn't it?
Or like a Best Buy store or whatever.
Yes, I think it seems American because in Australia, it seems reverse. Because the retail, who with an IT degree wants to essentially work for a retail company.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I think it's very common to have little IT firms around everywhere.
Yeah.
That are very much not a part of a supermarket.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Yeah.
Okay, so that's their retail space. Now, Wesfarmers has another division called Wesfarmers Chemicals, Energy and Fertilizer. Okay? Yeah. And so within this, remember I mentioned CSBP, which they purchased over 2 or 3 stages. They owned a third of it, then they purchased another third, and then they purchased all of it.
Yes.
So they obviously own that, and they do industrial chemicals like ammonium nitrate. And then they also do agricultural fertilizers, which I don't know, I think you put in for soil to make it more fruitful or something. I don't know. So they own CSB.
Good insight.
Thank you. You can tell I know a lot about farming. Okay, so Wesfarmers Chemicals, Energy and Fertilizer own 6 companies. So CSBP is one of them. which is chemicals and fertilizers. Australian Vinyls, which make resins, which are used for piping, cable installation, floor coverings and packaging. Within Australian Vinyls, they own a subsidiary called Woodmod Technologies, which is kind of like that fake timber that Luke used on that job last week.
Yeah.
So they make like wood composites, which are made from recycled and plastic. And it's like decking with less maintenance. It's like EcoDeck. EcoDeck is like a competitor.
Yeah.
So Woodmod Technologies is ultimately owned by Wesfarmers. AGR, which is Australian Gold Ringgits. This is really interesting. So
Ringgits.
Yeah, so CSBP, which is owned by Wesfarmers, they own 75% of this organisation or this company. They've been operating for 30 years in Western Australia, and it's Western Australia's only manufacturer of sodium cyanide. Now, sodium cyanide is used to extract gold from ore. Okay?
Yeah.
And so they produce over 90,000 tonnes per annum, and they're one of the top 5 producers globally.
Wow, okay, cool.
So this is interesting.
Yeah.
QNP is the fourth company within the Wesfarmers Chemical, Energy and Fertiliser conglomerate. Okay. And that stands for Queensland Nitrates, and CSBP owns 50% of QNP. If you're still following, you're doing really well.
I'm struggling, so any audience members out there, I'm impressed.
I'll send you my notes. And so QNBP, sorry, QNP.
You can't even follow.
No, I don't know. They're an Australian-based ammonium nitrate facility. So from what I can tell, they also make more of these industrial chemicals. And so that's that. I assume it's just a play to build that space for them. And then the fifth company is called Clean Heat, which I mentioned really, really early. They formed this thing called Clean Heat Gas in like the early 1900s. So it's been going for more than 60 years. And they do... so this is something that they actually started as opposed to purchased or acquired. Oh, yeah. So natural gas to the home, LPG for cooking and stuff like that. They're a Western Australia electricity supplier. So I didn't know this, but in Western Australia... businesses with over... so this is so random. Businesses with over 50 megawatts of power per year used annually can apply to use... they can apply to contest the supplier that supplies their business with power. Okay. And they can choose to apply... Sorry, they can choose... No, they can apply to choose which supplier supplies their energy.
Yeah, okay.
And so Clean Heat can supply it for them. They own Quick Gas, which I don't know if you've ever seen. Sometimes at the servos, there's Quick Gas, and it's like the little
swap and
go.
Yeah.
So they own that. And then they own another thing called Envol LNG, which is liquefied natural gas, which I don't know what you do with it, but I think it's used for transport and power generation.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so the sixth company under the Wesfarmers Chemicals, Energy and Fertiliser Group is this, and this is really, really interesting, is Covalent Lithium, okay? Covalent Lithium is the business that they have termed, which owns 50% of the Mount Holland Lithium project that I mentioned in 2019 they purchased.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the lithium project generates 45,000 tonnes of lithium hydroxide per annum. And they both extract it, process it, and refine it to a finished product. So Wesfarmers acquired Kidman Resources in 2019, which I mentioned, for like almost 800 mil. And they paid shareholders $1.90 per share for that. So CSBP owns 50%. The company that owns the other 50% is really interesting. It's a company called SQM. Have you ever heard of this company?
I haven't heard of it.
So SQM...
So I thought of a segment title for the YouTube.
Perfect.
How many companies does Wesfarmers even own? Anyway, yeah.
So SQM, which is the other 50% shareholder in this lithium project, is it's like a... I'm not sure if it's a Spanish lithium mining company. Yeah. But they are the largest lithium mining company in the world.
Yeah, okay.
And so they have, like, for example, they have an 8-year deal with LG to supply all of their lithium for all of their products.
Oh, cool.
And so that's kind of cool.
Big battery use there.
Yeah, so lots of batteries for them. Okay, so that's their retail arm, their energy and chemicals and fertilizer arm.
Yes.
And then the third one is Wesfarmers Industrial and Safety.
Okay.
Within this arm of Wesfarmers, there's 3,900 employees, which is a lot less than the other two.
Yes.
And there are, let me just see, 1, 2, 3, 4 businesses.
Okay.
First one is Blackwoods, which I mentioned a while ago. It was part of an acquisition.
Yeah.
It's been around for 140 years, and it's Australia's largest provider of industrial and safety supplies with 200,000 products. And so they just do like safety glasses and safety boots and all that kind of stuff, you know? Greencap is the second company within this arm of Wesfarmers. They were started in 1984. They were acquired by Wesfarmers in 2013 for $21 million. And it's the largest risk management compliance company in Australia.
Yeah, right.
Which is interesting. 360 employees, 10 offices.
Yep.
Coregas. Coregas was a company that they acquired in 2007 for $500 million.
Yeah.
And it was formerly named Lint Gas. Now, Lint Group, LINDE, is like a big global company. But they were trying to merge... they were doing a global merger with BOC. Have you seen BOC? BOC?
Yeah, I think so.
BOC?
Yeah.
With BOC Group. And so the ACCC, nicely, or I don't know, they asked them if they would divest of their Australian business. Otherwise, it would completely eliminate the competitive space here in the gas sector. So
sometimes it's also like, why don't you give it a try? You know, you go and buy these businesses. Then.
True.
Like, who's gonna?
True.
Someone's got to do it.
So that went up for sale, and Wesfarmers purchased Lint Group Australia, which they retermed Coregas, and they do like oxygen, nitrogen, it's argon, krypton, and it's for like automotive, aviation, calibration, construction, food and beverage. It's like in beer, like how do they carbonate beer, stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Healthcare, mining, 3D printing, stuff like that. Okay. And then the last one, the last business within this arm of Wesfarmers is Workwear Group, which they purchased in 2014 for $180 million, which back in the day, Workwear Group originally supplied the uniforms for the Australian Defence Force in World War II.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And so brands include like King G, Hard Yakka, Stubbies, Bates, Wolverine, Totally Workwear, NNT, Incorporate Workwear, all these workwear brands. And they provide like an end-to-end solution. So they like make the product, or they design it, make the product, sell it to you, put it in a shop so you can come and have a look.
Yeah.
And they manufacture more than 1 million units per annum and ship to more than 30 countries.
Yep.
So it's pretty amazing. And and then so Coles, right?
Yeah.
So they purchased Coles, and then they demerged Coles from Wesfarmers in 2018.
Yeah.
And then Coles listed on the ASX, as I mentioned. Wesfarmers retained 15% of Coles.
Okay.
And then in 2020, they sold 10%. So they now only own 5% of Coles.
Okay, yeah.
The rest of it is, I don't know, general shareholders and other organisations and stuff. Now, another really interesting one is, remember I was talking about properties, like who owns all the properties that Bunnings Warehouse have, right?
Yeah.
So that's a company called BWP Trust, which was established in 1998.
Yes, I've heard of this.
Have you? Oh, cool. So BWP Management is the responsible entity for the trust.
Yeah.
And it's wholly owned by Wesfarmers, and Wesfarmers owns 25% of the units in the trust.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
And the trust has 75 properties. I think 68 of them are Bunnings Warehouse properties, and it's worth $2.5 billion.
Yeah.
And just under 250 hectares of land. Gresham Partners, which I mentioned at the start, which they purchased, is a financial advisory and funds management business, and they own 50% of that since 1985.
Oh, they're still going with that one.
Yeah, so that's still...
So they got out of insurance, but they kept that. In finance, yeah.
That's right. And then the last one is Westpine Industries, which is a softwood sawmill, which Wesfarmers owns 50% of. I'm going to assume probably makes a lot of the timber in Bunnings.
Yeah.
So... That is
vertical integration, right?
Yes, so that's a lot of vertical acquisitions.
You can have a breath now after all those companies after going through.
So just in regards to just Wesfarmers now, their performance, this is just the easy stuff. So in 2020 financial year, now you can tell me this. I can't say I've done a lot of research into Australian companies.
Okay.
Every time I've researched an American company, they usually call the end of the year December, from what I could see.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But when I was looking at the financial reports for Wesfarmers,
it's always the 30th of June.
They were calling it the 30th of June.
Yeah,
Is that like a difference between the two countries?
Well, I don't know about I didn't know about the December thing.
Oh really? Oh, you just assumed they were all.
I thought they were
June
all.
30.
Well, I thought everything ends in June 30. But but yeah, you might be right. I just don't think I don't think about it like that. I just take whatever is the June number for an American company and use that. One thing that's different is that we report. Like in Australia, we report every 6 months, and they report quarterly.
Oh, cool! I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Which I think is good because for Australia, because I think it incentivizes long-term growth as opposed to quarterly earnings.
Yeah.
Because you can literally just have, a bad quarter and a good quarter.
Yeah.
And then turn out all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. So for the 2020 financial year, so ending June 30.
Yes.
The revenue was up 11%. To 31 billion. Their net profits after tax was up 8.2% to 2.1 billion.
Yeah,
which is pretty good. Keeping a little bit of that through 31 billion. And this is just an interesting metric in the space we're in, like the time we're in at the moment. Indigenous team members.
Yeah,
up 12% to 1,858. One thing which I was unsure about is
that across the whole company?
The whole company.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
It's not many when you look at the whole company.
Well, yeah, but as a proportion of the population of Indigenous people as well.
That's true.
Probably not too bad.
That's true.
Yeah.
So they have a fair bit of so they're for their quick ratio, for example. So their cash and receivables versus their current liabilities.
Yeah.
So stuff they're going to have to pay soon versus what they have on hand. They have double the amount of current liabilities as quick cash.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of a concern. I'm not sure. I'm sure they're fine.
Well, yeah, I think that rates are all-time lows.
Right.
So I wouldn't be that worried about it. It's just leveraging.
Fair. Okay, so they're playing
keep it moving.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Sales growth for the same period. This breaks it up into the different departments. So Bunnings was up 14%.
Yeah.
Kmart up 5%. Target down 3%.
Yeah.
And Officeworks up 20%.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh well, a lot of people working from home.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got to get their own supplies.
Exactly right. And so the last thing is the share price. So they listed on the exchange in November 1984 with a market cap of $80 million, price of $1.18, post split price. They did a split. I didn't realise, but they did a split very, very early on. And their dividend that they paid was 6 cents per share, which is 5% in the very early days, 1984.
Yeah.
Current price, do you have any idea?
$42.
Actually, 56.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Taking into account the split, it's 112.
Sorry, I just realized. Sorry, pointing at you. I just realized that I haven't sold my Wesfarmers. I've got it set for 56.6, and
really?
It got to like 56.4 the other day.
Wow.
But I just have had it set for weeks.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Anyway, might not sell it now. I like it.
Yeah. They have 1.1 billion outstanding shares. So the current price $56. Taking into account the share split, which was just a 2-to-1, it's $112.
Yeah.
And outstanding shares is 101 billion, which makes the market cap of. Do you want to have a guess, or you can calculate it?
I've got no idea. I'm not going to calculate it in my head.
Okay.
I'm going to say $80 billion.
Close, 61 billion.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, only 19 billion off.
Okay.
And they currently pay a dividend of $1.68, which is 3%.
Yes.
Which I don't know much about dividends because I don't own any companies with dividends. It doesn't seem like very much.
Well, one thing you should know with Australian shares is that dividends are ultra common because the tax is different from the US. We're incentivized to get dividends here. They're incentivized to not get dividends there.
Correct, because they double tax them in the US.
Yeah, so it's an old switcheroo. 3% is good considering
is it good?
that.
Okay.
Well, 3% is good considering that their the dividend percentage is a function of how much the price has kind of moved. Yep. So if the price is up 40% since last year, which I don't know how much the price is up. I don't know if you know. So if it's up 40% last year, that means it would have been a 5% dividend, equivalent of 5% dividend last year.
Yeah.
Now it looks like a 3% dividend.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's the same dollar amount.
Yep.
But yeah.
The market cap No, that's what we're saying. So growth. That's what you asked.
Yes.
So from March 2020, which was obviously a bit of a dip.
Yeah.
To now, it's up over 80%.
Yeah. See. So it's up over 80%. So if it was up 100%, that means a 6% market 6% dividend would become a 3% dividend.
Yes. Okay.
Which means it was close to 6%.
True.
Yeah.
And then as we finish, ownership. So less than 1% individual insiders. Rob Scott, who's the CEO, is one of those insiders. He owns $19 million worth.
Yes.
Less than 1% employee share scheme. So they do have some sort of scheme.
Yeah.
And less than 1% private companies, 22% institutions, 77% general public.
Luke told me about the scheme they have. I don't think it's great.
Oh, what is it? I don't know.
It's not a bonus. It's a salary sacrifice thing.
You can choose to. Oh, really?
So it's a bit lame.
Yeah,
compared to. I would rather have like a $10,000 share bonus. But, I mean, who wouldn't? But.
So that here ends the Wesfarmers conversation.
Cool.
What do I think? I think it's a really, really, really cool company.
Yep.
I love the idea of just like buying and selling companies and running them better and changing the name and merging them with other companies. And I think it's cool.
It's a very private equity thing, but done in a public company, which is cool.
It's cool.
Public conglomerate.
There you go.
All right. Here's my next little segment.
Okay, what do you got?
This is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time.
Oh, I think you say that every time you do a segment.
Well, I have a long list of things on my phone, but this is actually something that I've wanted to talk to you about for a long time.
Perfect.
It's not one of those pretend ones where I haven't.
Yeah.
So it's something that's kind of out of the news cycle at the moment. I feel like maybe it's a good time to bring it up, get it going again, get a few articles written about our podcast.
Okay, I like it.
It is NFTs.
Yes.
Non-Fungible Tokens.
I remember those. I remember when they were cool.
Yeah, I remember when they were cool. So it was between talking about BitClout or NFTs in one of the segments in the past, and I decided to go with BitClout.
Yep.
And that meant that, well, both of them I feel like nobody cares about anymore.
Yeah, they were peaking at the same time.
Yeah.
We should have just talked about both.
True. Well, anyway, now we're talking about this. I don't think it's that far out of the news cycle still. I think it's still...
We'll bring it back.
It's still got a fair bit of momentum. Just not as much as it had before. Have we got any live listeners?
Nah, don't worry about that.
There are 90. Let's not worry about that. So yes, non-fungible tokens. I mean, I know you've heard it all before.
I don't know.
Maybe some of our listeners haven't.
I don't think I have.
Really?
I've heard it. Well, I mean, I know what they are, but like, I haven't looked into it that much.
All right.
You tell me.
So, starting with some defining of some terms.
Yes.
So fungible means, the word fungible means copyable.
Yep.
So something that is fungible is something that's easily copied, super standardized, generic good, not one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
And
is it purely like a online term, or is it something we would term to a physical?
Well, it's an actual word. So it's not specifically an online related term.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
because I certainly hadn't heard it before.
Yes, no, it's not something that's been designed for NFTs. It's always been an actual term.
Okay.
So yeah, some of those generic, so it's a Toyota Corolla, a carton of orange juice, a brick. All those things are standardized, generic, and copyable.
Yeah.
And something that's non-fungible is something that's inherently unique.
Yep.
That's something that's custom. It's one of a kind.
Yep.
It's someone's gone. So it's the Mona Lisa. It's the it's someone's Rolls Royce that they've done a whole bunch of work to.
Yes.
It's someone's very specific,
very
unique thing.
Okay.
So a good way to think about an NFT is that it is a digitally autographed file. So this is getting to the token level of the word.
Yeah.
So it's a digitally autographed file.
Yep.
The original creator has signed it and is selling like a one-off unique file through a blockchain.
Yeah.
So the reason that the token part exists is because of the blockchain. So the token is traded on the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
So another example of that's easy to understand is baseball cards.
Mm-hmm.
There are rare ones and there are common ones.
Yep.
People spend a lot of money on the collectible ones.
Yep.
People spend less money on the common ones.
Yeah.
But they still collect them, kind of thing.
Yes.
So yeah, the transactions happen on the crypto blockchain. A lot of them seem to happen through Ethereum.
Yep.
So that means that everyone who owns, everyone knows who owns the NFT at a certain point in time.
Yes.
And how much they bought it for and how much they sold it for. Because it's all on a ledger and on each NFT site, whatever.
Yeah.
there's like a ledger which shows who has owned it and which price they sold it at.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
And also ultimately authenticates it because you can see the initial, I don't know, sale of the item from the owner.
Yeah.
Right?
It makes it legit. Yeah.
So okay. So it's like the certification that you'd usually get for a baseball card from a company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's a good way to. Good way to do it. So the process that the NFT is created, so like the digital file is rendered in some way.
Yep.
So if it's a GIF or a JPEG or a full video or whatever, it has to be created as that file type.
Okay.
So that's finished like that, and then the NFT is minted, which means that you upload it to a platform, which allows you to sell it on an Ethereum blockchain, and it authenticates it, and it makes it one of a kind. Or so like you can choose to mint 5 of your special item or whatever, or you can choose to mint 100 of your item, and then you can sell it 100 times.
So people have created these minting platforms?
Yeah, so there's heaps of these minting platforms.
Okay.
I was on this cool one before, it's also like the marketplace.
Yep.
For it.
Okay.
So I've got a pretty cool one. It's called Foundation, which has a lot of here. I can show you these are the live auctions that are happening now. So these are all of these like really cool digital artworks that are wow. We'll have to throw a little screen recording.
Yeah, you can do a screen record. Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of cool ones that are heaps of them are videos and GIFs and stuff like that.
Interesting.
I like the more video style things, but stuff moving around. You can barely see that in the sun, but
I can see it.
This is like stuff like that's really cool.
True.
So there's heaps of great artworks on there.
Yep.
See, like this one, you can see this one's 2 Ethereum.
Yeah,
this
wow.
one's 0.2. There's heaps of cheap ones and heaps of expensive ones, basically.
Is this and this isn't bidding? This is just people listing a price, and you can decide to purchase it.
This is the current bid. These are the current
bids.
Are bids.
Oh, right.
These are the live auction ones.
Oh, gotcha.
But there's also a whole collection of stuff that has been sold, and it shows you what's been sold.
Yep.
There's actually a lot of really cool art pieces. I think I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
Especially in having a lot of these have to load and.
Well, I guess being an art collector yourself, you probably appreciate this a bit more than the average person.
Yeah. So I think it's cool to you know me. I have a large collection of art.
Yeah, I've seen some of it. It's quite nice.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. No, it's good quality. It's good quality stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the the NFT is minted, and then it's uploaded to one of those platforms.
Yes.
Like that.
Gotcha.
So that one's
Gotcha.
called Foundation. There's heaps of different platforms that I've found while I'm looking stuff up.
Okay.
I don't know which ones are more legit.
And those platforms complete the purchase.
Yeah. And then under each here I can show you how it works.
Okay.
Under each thing, so this is auction has ended, right? It shows you the history of who's owned it. So this one's only recently sold, so it might only have one person. But usually there's like a ledger there. Loading a bit slow, but here we go. So we can see who they paid that much. These are
cool.
bids. So minted by, listed, bid placed. So then normally it would have next bid place, and it would have like that price would be going up.
Yeah, right.
Or down.
So minting is the initial sale? Is that
minting? So I think minting is uploading it to the platform, but then it's just on your profile,
and then you list it.
Gotcha. as though it's an IPO. And then so when it's minted, it's ready to be used, and then once it's listed, it actually is on the market.
Yep.
And then bids, and then it shows you like additions, and it's like because sometimes there's 20 different types and like that kind of thing.
And so this platform would do the transfer. So this platform would, like if I purchased it from you...
Yeah, you connect to your wallet.
The funds change through this platform, but also the ownership changes through this platform.
Yes.
Gets uploaded to the ledger. Is it the Ethereum blockchain?
Yeah.
Okay, so it gets uploaded to the ledger.
Yeah.
And then it kind of does all that background work.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's cool. And then now I own it because I've paid you whatever you had on there. Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
Pretty cool concept. So I'm going to move into some of the more popular NFTs have come from.
Yep.
So NBA Top Shots. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, Beeple, Justin Kan, Gary Vee, Jack Dorsey.
Gary Vee.
He's heaps into. Well, he was heaps into. I don't know actually if he has any NFTs, but I know that he's super into the idea straight away.
Yeah.
He's said before that he was into. Because I watched an interview where he was talking about NFTs.
Yep.
And he said that he's probably just a buyer or something.
Yes.
Yeah. he said before that he got into Bitcoin in 2014.
Oh yeah.
And he was super into that. And now that NFTs have come up, he's already into baseball cards.
Yeah.
So it's like now that NFTs have come up, it's like this perfect combo of everything he loves in one.
Yeah. Makes sense.
All in the one platform. So yeah, I've seen a lot of others as well. So like other than those ones, but these are just I'll put them through the video. You know, I'll put a couple
scatter them in.
Put a couple of
That'll
cool
be nice.
NFTs in there.
That'll be beautiful.
It'll be very beautiful.
That Beeple, is it Beeple?
Beeple, yeah.
Beeple, yeah. That was a pretty big one.
Yes.
That made a big wave when that sold.
Yeah, we're getting to it.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this is one thing that's also cool about NFTs, which I'll go before I go into the famous ones. I'll go into this. So each time someone sells, or each time the art sells, a small piece of that transaction is actually given back to the original creator.
Oh, I have heard about this.
So
that's awesome. Hey.
That's a pretty cool one.
That's really cool.
Yeah, the one who minted the piece gets a very small piece of the transaction.
Yes.
Which means that if you made something really cool, you sold it for $1,000.
Yeah.
And then a year later it sells for $1 million.
Yes.
You get a small piece of that $1 million.
Yes.
Which is a good reward for. It's a good argument for NFTs because it's like a lot of people say, "Oh, what's this fake art? I can just get a JPEG."
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. But it is a good argument for it, and it's cool that it's verified and all that kind of stuff.
It's also from the perspective of the artist, it's awesome for them because up until this point they haven't really been able to they haven't been able to see or reap the benefits of their appreciation of their art unless they just hold it.
Yeah.
Like they just sell it for whatever they think's a lot of money, and then they see it sold 10 years later for 10 times that amount of money. It doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
So that is really cool.
All right, so we're gonna play a little guess the price.
Perfect.
So this is gonna be good. All right, so how much do you think? And this is something as well. There's a lot of videos on. So one of the minting platforms is NBA Top Shot.
Yep.
So I guess that they have the exclusive right to mint their own thing on their own platform.
Yep.
So there's a lot of these videos as well.
Okay.
But guess the
saturated market.
Yes. Guess the price of LeBron James taking a shot from the 3-point line, the highest sale price of this one specific clip. This is clip number 85 when you look up LeBron James. And it's
like
also
when you look it up on Google or something.
When you look it up in NBA Top Shot.
NBA Top Shot. Okay.
This is number
it's
80.
It's the 85th one that comes up.
Yes. It's number 85. He's taking a... it's not the 85th one that comes up. It's the 85th one that's been made. So but it is at the top of the page or whatever.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
And I'm just guessing in Australian dollars?
USD.
I'm guessing in USD, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess... it's difficult to guess.
Yes.
5 million USD.
This is going to be a really hard... Well, all right, so it's $77,700, but... that one's also...
It's not like... Yeah, okay.
That's also been a lot of different ones. So there's also one of him dunking at the NBA Finals, which I thought would be even higher than that, but it is 70,000.
Okay.
So it's like interesting, but there's also heaps of these like little clips or whatever.
True.
So it's it's heaps funny that there's so it's like they're making a lot out of these. Even if they were selling them at 10,000, they would be making millions of dollars from.
Okay, so here's my thing, right? So you make a good point. There's a lot of them. Like, what stops me from going onto YouTube and screen recording that moment in the game and then minting it myself, listing it, and selling it for $70,000?
Well, that's the thing. So it's on. I think these are specifically on NBA Top Shot's
right,
site.
So someone wouldn't buy it from the other minting platforms.
I don't know if people know which one's the legit one based on that process.
All right.
Also, it's interesting, isn't it? Because like you can screen record some, you can like copy some JPEGs and whatever, and who knows.
All right, continue.
But yes, I guess on a different platform, the creator has typically posted a link to their specific site for like their specific minting site.
Yep.
So they've posted their address for their profile on that site.
Yeah.
So typically the fans of the actual person would know which one's legit.
Yeah.
Because then they can just go to that specific NFT.
Yeah.
So I guess that's an easy way to verify if it's real or not is if the actual person on their actual Twitter account has posted a link to it because that's the way that I've mostly seen it. It's usually like Twitter or YouTube that they've like been like, hey, I made an NFT, check it out, and it's got a link to their actual NFT. So that's how you know it's not fake, I guess. Justin Kan, who's the co-founder of Twitch, he's selling his YouTube videos as NFTs. So a lot of them are selling for 2.6 Ether, which is 9,200 USD. And he has about 20 videos, which is kind of cool. That's based on a USD price of 3,500 USD per Ether at the moment. Logan Paul, this is really crazy. So a video of him unboxing Pokemon cards. Do you want to guess how much the video of him posting unboxing Pokemon cards is? And it's
not really, but okay.
All right.
Give me the digits. Give me the number of digits.
It's 5 digits.
It's
pretty low.
Okay, all right.
It's pretty low.
20 grand.
It is. It's exactly 20 grand.
Perfect.
So he minted that one 3 times, except that there's
3 times the same video.
Yeah.
What?
And
what?
There's like 20 of those videos that are all minted, and it's just him. It's just short videos of him unboxing Pokemon cards.
Okay.
But then on top of that, he's selling his own custom Pokemon cards with him on them.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
And he's minted 44 of those at $38,500 each.
Wow.
But then he's also got 4 other cards, which one of them's minted 111 times, but that's only $1,500.
Yeah.
Another one's $17K, and the cheapest one's $370, which he's sold 700 times.
Wow.
So apparently Logan made $5 million in one day selling all those NFTs, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jack Dorsey, founder of Twitter and Square, sold his first tweet.
Yeah, that's right.
Just setting up my Twitter. Do you remember how much it was?
How many digits?
It's a 7-figure number.
7 figures?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say 5 million.
It was 2.9 million.
2.9, okay.
Yes, only a couple off. He used that money to donate to the poor families in Africa, which were affected by COVID-19, which is kind of cool.
That's lovely of him.
He doesn't need the money for his
silly
digital art. So, I think that was good. All right, so here's another fun guessing game one. This is the last guessing one I'll do for you because you're not liking the guessing.
Well, it's just so unlogical.
It is hard. It's very hard to guess. It's true. It's not like guessing number of employees for DoorDash or whatever. So here's the context. This is the most expensive NFT ever by the artist people. So I'll give you the backstory of it, and then you can you probably know what it is, but we'll
I've got an idea, but I don't remember.
Okay, so one thing that's crazy about this one is that the most he's ever sold a print for before this was $100.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And the reason that the piece that he made is significant is because on the 1st of May, my birthday, by the way.
Oh, yes. I knew that.
In 2007, he decided to make a new piece of digital art every single day.
Wow.
And he did that for 5,000 days in a row.
Whoa. That's crazy.
And so it's like a collage. The actual piece is a collage of his life's work.
Gotcha.
And it's also significant because it went through an auction house, an official first NFT to sell at an actual auction.
Okay.
So I think it's called Christie's.
Christie's? Christie's. That's big.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to guess the price now?
Yeah, right. How many figures?
8, right? 8, yes. 8.
70 million?
Hey, that's pretty much it. $69,346,250.
I thought it was something.
So I think that's pretty cool for someone who's like dedicated his life to like making digital art.
Oh, that's insane.
It's like this guy dedicated his whole thing, and now he's being rewarded for it with this silly NFT phase, which is kind of cool. This other one, they were talking about it on My First Million.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Butcher, who sold his tweet, which said it had like a square and it says JPEG, and then another square which says NFT.
Yeah.
And the NFT has the blue verified check mark next to it.
Yeah.
And that one sold for 74 Ether, which is $261,900.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool for this guy that didn't sound like he came from he's not particularly wasn't rich before that.
No.
You know? So that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
A couple of honorable mentions.
Yes.
Flume has some pretty crazy, trippy
cool.
NFTs.
Nice.
There's a couple of random celebrities like that. So yeah, I found Flumes.
That's cool.
They're just some really trippy people walking as a GIF kind of thing.
Yep.
But it's like the people are made out of digital like 3D models and stuff. All put them down the bottom there.
Perfect.
And my other honorable mention is Nyan Cat, which sold for 300 Ethereum, which is currently worth $1 million.
Wow.
Which is just a Pop-Tart cat that's going up and down. It's got a rainbow coming out of it. So yeah.
Jeez.
That's my NFT segment.
Sick. Love it. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Did one of your friends say that I look bored?
Yeah, someone from work was listening and they said, "What's he yawning for?" in the Elon Musk thing. I thought that was interesting. When we did the Elon Musk video
the tweet thing.
Yeah, on how much his tweets have made.
Yeah.
To be fair, we were sitting there for over an hour, and that was the last segment.
It's always rough, the last segment.
All right, I've written this days ago. I've forgotten what it was. So we're about to risk it. Okay. If there's any spelling mistakes, I'm gonna say them fast and not stumble. All right.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Congratulations. You're listening to an episode of Breaking the Glass Door, a show where we combine breaking the fourth wall and smashing the glass ceiling. This game is a simple this or that, where we pull back the curtain on some of the employment conditions of two similar companies. It's this or that with Glassdoor. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
with Glassdoor, do you need to explain what Glassdoor is?
All right. So Glassdoor is a platform where they compare the working conditions of different companies by leaving reviews. So people
the companies
will leave
who
a
work
review.
there.
Yeah. The employees will leave an anonymous review.
Yeah, that's it.
And in each review, it's got how much, so like diversity and inclusion and difficulty of the interview, how much they like the CEO, would they recommend a friend working there, what's their salary like, and then it gives a really good data analysis of the this is pretty cool. So we only discovered this a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago or something. And it's a pretty cool platform, I reckon, because I've never seen like this much data on working at a place. All right, so I'm going to start with my first one.
Okay.
Do you think we should do it like a guessing game? Like, do you think you should try and... All right, so maybe we'll go...
How many companies do you have?
I've got 3 sets of companies.
Three sets?
So yeah,
this versus that?
Because it's this or that. We're playing this or that.
So which one's got the better rating? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got some good similar companies that we're going to compare. All right, so I might go... Which is higher? I'll say which is a better place to work. Okay. All right. Okay. So our first company comes to us. It's one of our favorites.
Right.
It's one of our favorites, and it's one of the other company that we're comparing it to is a similar company which we have analyzed in the past.
Okay.
So today we're going to be looking at Tesla versus Lucid Motors.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's out of 5 stars.
Yes.
Who do you think? Which one do you think is a better place to work?
Lucid.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
So Lucid comes in with a 4.1 star rating.
Because they're still startup-y. Everyone at the startup's pumped and they're just giving it good reviews.
Yeah.
It's like the 10th or 12th like influx of people.
Yeah.
When you've got, like 10,000 people working there.
Yeah, and it's like...
And they're all grumpy. They don't never talk to like Elon in their life.
Yeah, and you get 2 shares per bonus instead of 500,000 shares for like being an early adopter.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we've got that. But which one do you think has? So Tesla has a 3.8 star rating,
Really?
and Lucid has a 4.1 star rating.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So pretty big disparity there.
Yeah.
Which one do you think has the highest approval rating for their CEO?
Oh.
Yeah. Tricky one. So we're looking at Elon Musk at Tesla and Peter Rawlinson at Lucid. Keep in mind that Tesla has a lot more data compared to Lucid, obviously, because Lucid's more of a startup.
Lucid.
It's actually Elon.
Is
Elon
it?
has a higher approval, but it's only 1% higher. So he's got
1%.
He's got an 86% approval rating.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And an 85% approval on Lucid.
Right.
So 86% of people though recommend Lucid to a friend, and only 68% of people recommend Tesla to a friend.
Oh yeah.
So that's an interesting disparity there.
That's because if you recommend it to a friend, like with Tesla, people would probably just laugh at you. I don't know. Like people just think it's a bit of a joke as well.
Yeah. You're like, well, I'm not working.
It makes a lot of sense though, because someone who works at Tesla, you think that like they want to work at Tesla because they think Elon's a genius.
Yes.
So if you don't work at Tesla, if you do work at Tesla and you don't think he's a genius, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah. Obviously, it's a single startup. Like it's a single founder operation where, this guy's a pro. All right, we're going to move on to another like similar pair.
Okay. Great.
Awesome. Here's our second matchup.
Yeah.
It is Microsoft versus Apple.
Oh, okay. This is good.
Who do you think wins?
What?
Highest
rated workplace?
Which one's the highest rated?
Microsoft.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
Microsoft is a better place apparently to work than Apple.
Yeah.
But it's 4.4 stars versus 4.3.
Oh,
so
okay.
Apple is decently high. So yeah. Obviously it's even higher than significantly higher than Tesla.
True.
Wow. Can you guess? This is an insane approval ratings, but can you guess which CEO is like? So we're looking at Tim Cook.
Yeah.
You would know who that is.
Yeah.
You probably don't know who Satya Nadella is.
No, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do you think has a higher approval rating?
Microsoft man.
Yeah. So he's got a 98% approval rating.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's very high. And then 95% approve of Tim Cook.
Really?
So yeah.
That's quite good too.
Pretty similar. And Microsoft has a 90% recommend to a friend. And Apple has an 86% recommend to a friend.
Okay.
So it's pretty neck and neck, that one.
Yeah, it is.
All right. This next one that is coming up.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
Perfect.
This is, and we touched on it earlier, maybe. This one is Square versus Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same founder.
To Jack Dorsey.
Okay.
Setting up my Twitter guy. So.
Okay.
So yeah, this is cool. So.
Highest rated workplace out of the two.
Yeah. So which one do you think is better to work at?
Square.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
So Square has 4.3 stars and Twitter has 4.2 stars.
Yeah. Okay.
The approval ratings are quite funny. 93% approve at Square and 92% approve at Twitter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And 88% of people at Square recommend to a friend and 83% recommend at Twitter. It's funny because they've even got different pictures of Jack Dorsey that look almost, I don't know if they're maybe they're the same picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've just got a different background. Yeah. They look like different, a different setup and everything.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so that one was a bit of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, couple of different things. I don't know. There's a lot of different data there. So if anyone's got any recommendations on what we can, anything better on Glassdoor that we haven't seen.
Oh yeah. So what metric do they?
Because I don't know what. Yeah, because I don't know what metric is the coolest. But I like the star rating one though. That's fun.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. There we go.
Perfect.
All right. If I had to wrap up our episode now.
Yeah, which you do.
I would say that this show will last longer than Bill and Melinda Gates' relationship. It'll have more of an impact on the price of Dogecoin than Elon on SNL. We need to pump Dogecoin quickly.
Do we?
Well, because of that thing that I said.
What thing did you say?
I said it's going to have more of an impact on the price of Dogecoin.
Oh.
What do you think? Buy or sell?
Sell it all.
Sell it all.
I think it's a joke.
When it gets to $20.
You know what? I reckon we're as casual as Bill Gates' mistress's relationship holiday thing that they have.
Whoa. Are we that casual? Speak for yourself. That was an interesting one.
Yeah. Don't they go on holidays every year?
Yeah, he goes on holidays with his ex-girlfriend. That's probably the downfall of his relationship. So if I had to give marriage advice, which I don't have to.
Nor would anyone listen to it, but yeah.
Yeah, from my experience with my wife, I think you should not go on a holiday with your ex-girlfriend.
Okay, or if you did once, you probably shouldn't continue.
Yeah. Just go on it one time if you have to.
Once is a mistake. It's an accident.
Yeah, for sure.
Accidents happen.
Yeah.
But more than once.
More than once.
You're knowingly doing it at that point.
35 times is a little bit much. That's a wrap.
Perfect. Bro, I'm sunburnt again.
Oh, no.
You've made me sunburnt again. Why are you always not sunburnt?
This is great. It's like when the news reporters would always talk after the credits start and their mics start cutting off.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes. Yes, very good. Weather.